Ghost of Tsushima is officially 1 year old. That's right, hard to believe a year has gone by since the release of Ghost of Tsushima, July 17th, 2020 for the PlayStation 4. It's compatible now on the PlayStation 5. Plus, we have a director's cut coming August 20th, which will include the Iki Island expansion and other stuff, along with content for Legends. And speaking of Legends, there is a chance for you, if you missed out, to get those unique cosmetics featuring characters from God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, Shadow of Colossus, and Bloodborne, if you're into Legends like Riley and me are. Hi, Riley.
Hello there.
So those items are available for limited time once again for any of you that like to play Legends, that want those unique items. So today we're going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima in this Thoughts video. And if you want more information about the Director's Cut, everything that it entails, check out my Director's Cut video. And yes, I will definitely be streaming Iki Island when that comes out in about a month from now. Hopefully. So first off, overall, so far, Sucker Punch has done rather good with Ghost of Tsushima. 6.5 million copies sold.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
I mean, they deserve it, honestly. It is a great game. It's a beautiful game.
And you're more familiar with Sucker Punch than I am.
Right, yeah. I've been playing since the Sly Cooper days, back in the early 2000s. But yeah, it's like Cooper. I watched a little bit of Infamous here and there, and now it goes to Tsushima.
Yeah, I do have Infamous Second Son in actually both of our PlayStation collections for our PS5s.
Right.
And eventually I'm going to check it out, but I haven't had a chance to do so yet. But we're going to go over some numbers that were posted by Sucker Punch over on Twitter, which I thought were very fascinating, and we'll talk about each one. First off, 679 million standoffs. I wonder how many of those were L's.
Yeah.
333 million duels. I probably lost a few of those.
Yeah, not me. I'm a beast.
Yeah, I knew I did much better in my second playthrough, and a lot of people would really love for duels to come to Legends. Maybe that'll be the new content for Legends. I would love for that to be the case.
Yeah, 1v1 duels.
Yeah, that would be epic.
Hopefully, if they do that, hopefully they don't. There isn't too much BS with the abilities.
Well, during duels, it would just be skills, just similar to how Jin has to fight like bosses in duels in Ghost of Tsushima. I think the same rules should apply for players.
Okay.
I think that's the way it should be worked. Like Samurai Sword v Samurai Sword with the resolve, and I guess that'd be pretty much it. But it could be interesting. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's on the top of the list of content we would like to see with Legends. Duels not only in story mode, but also in Legends. The next number is 68.5 million haikus written. And that's interesting because you get only a certain amount of haikus options to choose from. It's not like we're writing the haikus. They're still cool, though. I do like doing them. And they are pretty once you assemble them the way you want, and then it has Jin reciting it and the music in the background.
Right.
It's interesting, though. 61 million photos taken, and maybe about some of those were mine.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those were mine. Mine were in Legends, though.
Oh, yeah, you were more about Legends, but I love taking photos in Ghost of Tsushima. In fact, the wall for the live streams this month in July 2021 is one of the photos I took last July to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of Ghost of Tsushima. So I have the entire wall Ghost of Tsushima themed, including the banner that's the wall is over the name, the font, and then even the super chat icon is Jin's ghost mask. So yeah, I'm all about Ghost of Tsushima on the wall because I absolutely love that game. I feel like it got robbed from Game of the Year last year.
Yeah, definitely.
It was my Game of the Year.
Right. Yeah, mine too. It definitely deserved it.
Next is, 4,241 years horseback. What?
Yep.
How do they do that? So many people play this game to where they crunch the numbers, and they said if we were to give you an amount of time that everybody has ridden horseback in Ghost of Tsushima, it would be 4,241 years. That's insane. That's even further back than the Mongol invasion that the game's based on.
Right.
That's going back into the BC time period.
Let's not count all the people that go AFK while on the horses.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna sit on the horse, be right back. Gotta go to the bathroom, or something like that.
Here's one you'll like: 55.63 foxes petted.
Yeah, I love that one. I mean, we need more fox pets. We need to see more of them. Look how beautiful they look.
You're probably disappointed the number's not higher.
It should be higher. But then again, it's like the haikus. There's only so many you could do.
That's true, yeah. And you actually can't pet all the foxes because there's plenty of times I go to one of the shrines and then I look around trying to find the fox and it's already gone. It's already bounced.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah. Next is 60,000,000.1 spirit dogs summoned in Legends. But that depends on, I guess, which character allows you
That's
to...
Ronin.
Ronin, yeah. So like Ronin, then you can purchase the ability to summon spirit dogs.
Right. Or Spirit Bear.
That shows you how popular Legends is, though. Is that because Legends obviously came out after Ghost of Tsushima story mode, and already 60 million spirit dogs summoned in Ghost of Tsushima
To
Legends.
be fair, there's a lot of people, and you just want to summon the dogs.
And the final number we're going to go over, courtesy of Sucker Punch on Twitter, 40 million Legend mode missions played.
Yeah, that's insane. I wonder how many of those were us doing Caravan of Thieves.
Yeah, Caravan of Thieves.
Just grinding that mission on Nightmare and Gold, just trying to get the best items.
Yeah, I remember us doing that. Especially that was at least 1 or 2 weeks they had it as the...
Was it Nightmare themed?
Yeah, the Nightmare themed.
Yeah, it was a week.
Yeah.
We literally just grinded that and just got the best gear out of it.
Yeah.
It's such an easy mission. You could literally do that mission in like 10 minutes.
That's true. And we did it so much that she literally had to drag me into it because there's times when I just didn't want to do it and it was late at night. And you're like, come on, let's do one more GB. I'm like, I want to go to bed. Do we have to do Caravan of Thieves? But it's Nightmare. I'm like, But we got through it.
Yeah, we did. It was fun though.
Yeah, it was. And I didn't mention raids because you know how I feel about raids.
Oh yeah, remind me after you do the Island thing, we gotta go into that.
Well, Nikki Island expansion and whatever this new content for Legends happens to be.
Right,
Yeah.
and we go after that.
Maybe.
Actually, yes.
So anyways, Ghost of Tsushima is obviously based historically off the first Mongol invasion of Japan in 1274. First, they landed from Korea to the island of Tsushima. Then Iki Island, which is where the Iki Island expansion is going to be about. Then, of course, they attempted to land on the Japanese mainland, but they lost at the Battle of Hakata Bay. There's actually a second Mongol invasion that happened a few years later. So there's definitely things for Sucker Punch to work with for a potential future sequel beyond Iki Island. Do you think that there's going to be a sequel or a prequel or a spinoff to Ghost of Tsushima besides Iki Island?
I feel like there should be, honestly, because maybe, I don't know. I mean, if they do use Ghost of Tsushima 2, I don't know. Maybe not, because I don't like the story to be fictional.
Well, I mean, there's definitely things about the story of Ghost of Tsushima which are loosely based on history, but then there's a lot of stuff, obviously, that are mostly fictional or mythical to Japanese legend and lore. So
Right,
once again,
but it passes. It feels like it passes as a history kind of game. Yes, no, no way.
yes, but no. But at the same time, it does give anybody interested in history and learning more about the Mongol invasion inspiration to go and check it out for themselves, whether in documentaries or books. Even though it's obviously not 100% accurate. So, theoretically, the Iki Island expansion probably won't be 100% accurate either, historically. And if they decide to do the next Ghost of Tsushima about, the southern portion of the Japanese mainland being invaded by the Mongols, and the infamous, final battle of Hakata Bay, where the Divine Wind pushed the Mongols back into the sea, then they could do that. And they could probably just take some liberties and make the invasion more of a big deal than it was in, historical senses. But we'll see. Some people make the argument that there shouldn't be a sequel, and I could get that too, because if they go too far of it, then you just have to wonder where are they going to go with Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. But
then again, they could also fast forward to the second invasion. So yeah, the Mongols did invade Tsushima again, and then they tried the whole thing, and then they failed the second time. Spoilers. Okay, so we will talk spoilers in a little bit, by the way, regarding Ghost of Tsushima. First off, we're going to talk about a few things that interest both of us regarding the game itself. Gameplay, the fun factor, graphics, the world of Tsushima, the music, score, the characters, story, replayability, as well as the things they added after Ghost of Tsushima came out that we weren't even aware of. Like, these were things that weren't even on the radar for any of us, but we found out after the fact. Legends, of course, new Game Plus. We'll get to that in a moment. What is it that you enjoy the most about the gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima?
The gameplay. I guess it's exploring the world itself. That's definitely the killing. Yeah. But, I mean, mostly, the bow and arrow controls.
Yeah.
They were great. It felt really satisfying to land a headshot. It felt really smooth in terms of the hit detection. And just the many ways you could just target people. You could just bow and arrow. You could just do it stealth. You could just go fight them head on. You could just poison them with the dart. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of strategies you could do. You could get very creative. So that's something I really, really enjoy, the combat style.
Yeah, me too. I absolutely enjoy it. In fact, I still do it. I'm working on getting through New Game Plus right now. And sometimes, I like to ride up on the Mongols or bandits and either challenge them to a duel or just leap off the horse and just attack them that way. So I absolutely love the gameplay. Most of the time I feel like I kind of go 50-50, half samurai, half, ghost, and maybe a little bit less when it comes to archery because I'm not very good at archery. I've been working on it, though. But she's way better at archery than I am.
Right. Yeah, I'm still like in my new playthrough. I'm trying to get through it without actually buying the slow motion upgrade for the archery because I want to get used to it so I can go back to Legends.
Yeah, because you don't really have that in Legends.
Yeah, the slow motion.
Yeah. So next is, of course, the fun factor, which I guess you could apply to gameplay. Is there anything else about the game that would consider to be fun factor to you?
The story itself is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, that does tie into fun factor as well. I think the fun factor is the fact that overall it's just an enjoyable experience no matter what you're doing, whether you're riding around on horseback or fighting the Mongols, bandits, or you're simply going around picking up the various collectibles, like going to the shrines, or chasing foxes, or going after the different sword kits, or taking a nice hot, bath in the hot tubs, the natural springs, or writing the haikus. I'm not really, I guess you could say, like an achiever. I don't really go for like trophies or 100%. But both of my playthroughs of Ghost of Tsushima, I gotta say I must be in the 90-something percentile. I think the second playthrough, I think the only thing I didn't max out were probably the banners. But I know you've platinumed it.
Yeah, I platinumed the game completely. I did everything. And there's even a couple of missions that, how it shows like the little square thing, kind of thing, where it shows you where they are. There are a couple that are hidden.
Wow.
So, yeah, like there is one that you missed in the middle of it's in Act 2.
Yeah.
It's like next to the temple.
Okay.
And there is one where you actually, you have to kill a Ronin.
Yeah.
And then you get the trophy that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mind killing the Ronins, especially after what happens near the end of Act 1. By the way, there is spoiler talk here because the game's been out a year. So if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima and you have a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, hopefully you're planning on getting the director's cut when it comes August 20th. But then I guess you can come back and watch the rest of the video because we are going to be talking about more spoilers as we progress through our thoughts regarding the 1-year anniversary of Ghost of Tsushima. So, yeah, fun factor for me is just doing just about anything in the game. I enjoy playing it. Like, you get on top of, like, one of the temples, and you stand there, and you look at the world, and you have that awesome music just playing in the background.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
It is. And then the graphics, I think, are phenomenal. They're amazing, and it just feels alive, the world of Tsushima.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see the entire island on PS5 graphics.
Yeah. It looks really good on the way it is right now for it's compatible from PS4 to PS5, but I'm really looking forward to what it's going to look like with the director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some changes that they're obviously going to be making, hopefully for the better. And like I said, if you want more information about that, I did make a video about the director's cut. So yeah, the world of Tsushima is awesome. I would say of the three sections of the map, right? The bottom section, Act 1, 2, 3. Which one is your favorite and which one is your least favorite?
My favorite would have to be... I would have to say Act 1.
Yeah.
is the best looking one. And then Act 3 and Act 2.
Okay, so so first place goes Act 1's portion of the map.
Right.
And the Act 3 map at the top is second place for you. And then the middle one's your least favorite.
Yes.
Okay. So mine is not exactly the same as yours. I also love Act 1's map, and it's absolutely beautiful, especially when you're finally able to go into free roam, after you've fallen off the bridge against Colton Khan. By the way, that's a BS fight, especially since we've seen on YouTube videos where some people have actually managed to beat Colton Khan at the beginning. You think they do like a hidden ending?
Maybe they'll do it on Director's Cut.
That would be sweet. I mean, I've never come close, but still, it wouldn't be an official ending. It would be kind of like whether Far Cry 4 and Far Cry 5 had an unofficial ending at the beginning of the game.
Right.
So it would be something like that, a little Easter egg.
Yeah, you would see what if Jin never became the ghost? He just killed Kotal Khan and they just leave. He never became the ghost.
Exactly. That him and Lord Shimura just ride off as samurai. But that is something else I want to talk about in a little bit. Some what if scenarios and things that I wish that would have been in the game. But you can't have everything you want. But yeah, I mean, the story is amazing and the characters are great. And when it comes to that scene when you're first riding into Act 1 and you see the tree and the white flowers, and then you ride further around the map and then you see other colored flowers as well. So yeah, the Act 1 map is my favorite. My second favorite is the Act 2 map, because at first when you get to the bottom portion of the Act 2 map, it's devastation because the Mongols are just destroying everything in the bottom portion. But then as you go further up into the Act 2 map, then it gets beautiful again. Really beautiful. But then the Act 3 map is nothing but snow. And it's weird because I actually like snow, because where I live in the South in the U.S., we rarely get snow. So it's like a rare treat. And we actually had a freak of a snowstorm many months ago. And we actually had legit snow for a week, which was crazy. The truth is, I really didn't enjoy the Act 3 map. I would rank that as my least favorite portion of Island of Tsushima. So that's my rankings for the three maps. Because technically it's 3 maps, 3 different hubs of one larger map. But the story's great. What's some of your favorite or least favorite parts of the story?
Least favorite parts. Least favorite parts. I guess I would have to say, does it include side stories or just the main story? Anything?
Side, quests, main story.
I found the Kenji, I found the Norio stories kind of meh.
Yeah.
They were okay, and they felt like just filler.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing about, a lot of video games, unlike the movie, which they are working on, a movie version of Ghost of Tsushima, which I really hope they consider, casting several of the individuals, especially the main actor that played Jin. I hope they cast him as Jin in the movie. They really should.
Yeah.
Because not only did he voice Jin Sakai, the English version, he also did the mocap and everything. So I hope they consider that. But there's obviously a lot of things in the movie version of Ghost of Tsushima that won't be in the movie, probably. And that includes the side missions for Norio, Kenji, and a few others. Because there's quite a few. There's it's tiered. There's the main story stuff. Then there's character missions. And then there's
NPCs.
Yeah, NPC missions. I like the fact they have all that stuff, because a lot of it is optional, but you get rewarded by doing it. And you can go do it if you want to. You don't have to, but it's cool to have in the game, especially for a game like Ghost of Tsushima that you just enjoy diving into and just spending as much time as possible.
Right. But yeah, besides Norio and Kenji stories, I guess some of the NPC stories were kind of meh.
Yeah.
Where you just felt like you just did it just because you just did it, just for the reward.
Well, yeah, that, but I also like the idea that you get to see how the invasion is going from the point of view of the common citizen, the peasant of Tsushima, and the way they each, I guess you could say, treat Lord Sakai. Some of them are very respectful, some of them not so much. Some of them are obviously scared of the Mongols, others try to fight back, and some, unfortunately, end up becoming allied with the Mongols.
Right.
So it's very fascinating to see how that breaks down. But yeah, there's definitely story tropes I'll talk about in a minute that I'm not really a fan of. But overall, I love the story from start to finish. The fact that you're marching in with Lord Shimura as well as Lord Adachi and Jin, and at the very beginning you realize what the samurai of Tsushima are up against, this invading army by the Mongols. and how they're not going to fight the way the samurai fight. Even from the beginning with Lord Adachi, he goes down there to Kulton Khan expecting to actually have an honorable fight.
Right, a 1v1.
But it doesn't go that way.
No, he cheats.
Well, I mean, it is war, so
Yeah.
you can make that argument. But then, of course, I guess Jin, thanks to the help from Yuna, who saves his life, starts to learn to use some of the tactics of the Mongols against them.
Right, and some of his own.
Yeah, some of his own. But the replayability, I think the replayability is really good, especially once they added New Game Plus. And that was something we were asking for after a lot of us beat Ghost of Tsushima, was the ability to New Game Plus it. And not only did they add Legends, the multiplayer mode, and a lot of really good content there, but they also gave us New Game Plus, which like I mentioned, I'm going through once again. And I'm really glad they did that, which obviously adds to the replayability. So what is your thoughts about the replayability of this game?
I like it, yeah. I mean, it's really amazing how you could just go back into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing I do wish is that they will allow you to at least do like the Kodokan boss fight at the beginning with like all your abilities.
Yeah.
Like that would have been cool, but you can't do that.
No, because what it does is...
Yeah, you start from like the, you got like the horse,
yeah,
and then you just start with the cutscene.
Yeah, you start with the Ghost of Tsushima roll credits cutscene.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like funny, like maybe some of the cutscenes is like, oh, here, you can learn how to assassinate, but you already have like all the assassinations, and
yeah,
it's funny.
Are your Taka's making his grapple for you?
You already have it.
You already have it, and he's talking about, I really need this grapple to help free my uncle, but yet you already have the damn thing.
Yeah.
So it is funny. It's, video games. I still like the fact that they allow you to go back and play through it again on New Game Plus mode. That's something I enjoyed, I think, in Arkham City. I think that's the first time I ever tried out a New Game Plus mode. So I do like that in a game like Ghost of Tsushima.
Right. The only thing I really would like is just a mission selector.
Mm-hmm.
So you can choose which mission specifically you would like to go back to instead of just having like a save file.
Oh, yeah, kind of like what they do with like GTA and Red Dead.
Yeah, yeah. We could just complete a mission and, I want to play that mission again.
Yeah.
Like, I'll play it.
Yeah.
Because if it was up to me, this is another spoiler, so spoiler alert.
Yes, we're already in spoilers, so yeah.
Right, so I would literally just play the Ghost of Yarikawa mission where you just slaughter everybody. It's like you finally get that slaughter and you get the ghost dance. I love that mission.
Yeah, during the story, that's one of my favorite moments in the game. Because it just feels so badass. And I remember my first playthrough, I was getting my ass stomped by that general. And then
I beat him first try.
Well, good for you. But I was so salty. I mean, of course, there's always salt when it comes to me playing a video game. But eventually when I managed to kill the general, and I just slaughtered him, I chopped his head off, and I was going from salty to this awesome sauce feeling because it became epic with the music and you learn the ghost dance. I did a lot better the second playthrough, though, so I'm proud of myself for that. But either way, it was just as epic the second playthrough.
Right.
Just as epic. But yeah, that's also one of my favorite moments in the game. I mean, there's a lot of moments like that I really did enjoy. There are definitely moments that pull at your heartstrings and moments that kind of break your heart a little bit. And that's one thing I like about Ghost of Tsushima. It's very similar to how I felt about playing through Red Dead Redemption 2 twice. Definitely some emotional roller coasters in both games. But yeah, speaking of characters, I mean, in the story, it obviously revolves around the characters themselves. Jin, the protagonist, Lord Sakai, the ghost, his uncle, Lord Shimura, Yuna, Taka, Kulta Khan, Lady Adachi, the sensei, Norio, Kenji, Rizo, a few others as well. Which were some of your favorites? Which were some of your least favorites?
The characters. I would have to say Yuna.
Hmm?
I did like Taka. I'm sad he died.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but let's see. Yuna, Taka, Lord of Shimura kind of got on my nerves. Let's see. Masako was alright. Ishikawa was alright.
Yeah.
Norio and Kenji, low tier.
Yeah.
And I think, am I missing somebody?
There's a few others as well. I just wrote down a few names. Some of the main characters.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, but Lady Masako, she was really good. I liked her character. I liked a lot of their characters. I mean, I liked how Sensei was an asshole, and I like Lady Masako's like being grieved about the death of her husband and her family and her quest for revenge and how it's obviously was consuming her. I think there was probably a contrived point during that story arc where she ends up actually fighting Jin. So
yeah, she did.
I didn't really care for that moment. I'm like, seriously? Like, Jin's helped you up to this point. and you're gonna fight him.
You're gonna get your ass whipped.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense to me. That was one of those moments that you kind of left shaking your head, like, okay, here's the duel we don't really need in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's alright. It's like if you only care for like dueling, then yeah, you get to duel again.
Yeah, you get to duel her, but at the same time, story-wise, it just really didn't make any sense to me. But I mean, they could have had a conflict, but maybe just like a heated discussion between the two.
Right.
They didn't have to draw swords, especially since they have been fighting side by side, not only to liberate Lord Shimura and the island of Tsushima, but Jin has gone out of his way to that point to help avenge Lady Masako. So that part I found a little ridiculous.
Right. Oh, we forgot one character. What about Jin's caretaker?
Oh, yeah, her, yeah. I liked her, though. I felt like at the beginning of the game when you first meet her, like they should have made her look a little bit younger because it looked like she's hadn't aged at all. Like from when he was a boy in the flashbacks, which I do enjoy the flashbacks, by the way. I really do enjoy them. I think that was a great way to do the tutorial for Jin, was the flashback tutorial with him and Lord Shimura. But she looked basically almost identical age-wise to when you meet her again in Act 2. So
Right.
they could have made her look a little bit younger. They did that with some of the other characters. They made the Adachis look younger. They made the Sensei look younger. They obviously made Lord Shimura look younger. But why they didn't make her look younger, I didn't really understand that.
I don't know. For me, all the characters look the same.
No, they were younger looking.
I didn't notice.
If you go to the flashback, the other, except for her for some reason, the other, maybe she was meant to look younger. Maybe it was a graphic issue. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So I do like the characters each in their own way. Kenji can be annoying at times, but there's I guess you could say a redeeming quality to him.
Yeah, he's the comic relief character.
Yeah, basically. Rizzo. Ryoso, sorry. But I really wanted to like him, but the turn at the end of Act 1, I was just like, oh, come on. After everything you do for, Ryozo, like you try to help him and the Ronin get food. And that is another BS contrived mission, because I hate contrived things. I would like the ability to have been able to like put forth some extra effort, even if the game doesn't tell you to, and find food for the Ronin and for Ryozo and do some things in order to get them on your side, or at least get Ryozo on your side. Maybe the other Ronin betray you, but it would have been cool if Ryozo, if you had that ability. But I'll talk more about that and other things in a moment. But I think besides Jin, Lord Shimura is my favorite character because of the whole father-son dynamic him and Jin have. And the fact that, Lord Shimura is a man of honor. He's a man that believes in the code of the Samurai. Of course, to some, it would feel like a religion or a cult. And it does prove to be counterintuitive to winning the war against the Mongols. And it ends up, being revealed that, Jin has to, start learning other skills and traits and practices in order to defeat the Mongols and become the Ghost. And of course, things that Lord Shimura do not necessarily approve of.
Right.
But I do like the way that they craft the story where the player can decide whether or not you agree with Lord Shimura or you disagree with him. And there's definitely a lot of the times I do agree with him. I do feel like that there's points where there's things that happen, especially in the Battle of Act 2 when retaking Castle Shimura, where I feel like Jin went a little too far and I wouldn't have gone as far as he did. But at least, to be fair, in Act 3, you see consequences for Jin's actions. So, yeah, I think Lord Shimura is probably my favorite character. And that really broke my heart, especially the second playthrough, because the first playthrough I got my ass handed to me by Lord Shimura near the end, so I got salty again. But at the same time, that final fight between him and Lord Shimura, even though I knew it was coming the second time, even though I did good the second time, way better, it's still, you can go back and watch the stream because you can tell that I'm tearing up a little bit because it was like an emotional moment for me. But yeah, I mean, I do like most of the characters. Yuno's a great character. I like Taka. There's things about Taka that, once again, I wish that you could do differently in the game because they give you like dialogue choices, but I wish they would give you some more choices as well. So obviously, between playing going Samurai, Ghost, Archer, you like being Archer more.
Yeah, the Hunter.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of would try to main as the Samurai, but there's, I don't know, sometimes I like to be in a Ghost. It goes back and forth. But when it comes to spoilers, I wish we had more choice, but at the same time, I understand that more choice would compromise the story itself. So there are, I get that because there's like the structure of the story. It has to play out a certain way, and things just play out the way they're meant to play out. But here's some things that, as I've mentioned a few things, I would have liked to have the ability to, I guess, change fates. Some fates change. Like Ryozo. Like, it would have been cool if we could have made him an ally instead of him turning on us. Yeah. Where, you have another Ronin step up to lead the Ronin, right? And he gets betrayed. And so you could still have Ryozo die in the future, or maybe he survives. I don't know. But it would have been cool if Ryozo, you had the ability to go the extra mile to actually get food for the Ronin so they wouldn't betray you in the end. Mm-hmm. But what do you think about that? Or do you think he's meant to betray us?
Yeah, I think he's just meant to betray us because, honestly, I would prefer him to betray us as just some random NPC.
Yeah.
That just so happens because, unless he create another whole character, but...
Yeah, one of his lieutenants would be the one who betrayed Ryozo, and then maybe it was Ryozo and Jin having to fight off a whole bunch of Ronin. Oh. Right. That would have been interesting. But the next one that I wish that we had the ability to do, by the way, if you have any, feel free and throw them in there, is revolved around Taka. Like, I knew the moment Taka showed up when you were going to go and meet Ryozo that things were not going to end well for Taka. It felt like it was going to go south.
Yeah.
Of course, at first he manages to to distract enough Mongols for you to slip inside, and then the whole thing of you being knocked out from behind while talking to Ryozo, that felt a little contrived. I mean, for somebody that's been since Act 1 ghosting around, aware of his surroundings.
Yeah, it felt a little forced.
It did. Like, come on, Ryozo's already betrayed you. Why would you not expect him to betray you again? I know you want to go talk to the Khan, but you should suspect a little something sus happening here.
Yeah, he's not. Well, it has to be somebody else. Look around real quick.
Exactly. So that'd been cool if you had at least had that ability to turn back and counter and maybe fight your way out. But I wish there was some way to save Taka. And once again, it does ask an interesting question. At one point, do you sacrifice the story itself for the player to have options?
Right, because it would have been cool. This is also something I thought about. Let's just say, like you said, maybe you get enough Ronin food, and then Ryozo becomes an ally.
Yeah.
Then in that scene, they get captured. It would be like the concept, I knew you were a traitor all along. I knew it. And then he kills Ryozo, but Taka gets to live. Yes. Maybe it could happen.
Yeah, that would have been good. Maybe in that situation, it changes Taka's fate, and Ryozo ends up being the one murdered.
Or you get to choose who dies.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's like, all right, Jin, he betrayed me, and I'm gonna kill one of your friends. You have to choose who it is. Now guess who's it gonna be? And then you just to make it even more suspenseful, you're timed and you cannot pause the game.
No. But the trick is it's RNG, so the game kind of fucks you over no matter what. So even if you pick Ryozo to die, Ryozo might get chosen to die, but the Khan still might just kill Taka anyways, because it's the Khan, right?
Or maybe as a 1% chance he kills both of them.
That's a possibility too. So, yeah, I mean, I know, I get it. The one thing I guess that's good about stories is the fact that people do die in war and struggles for liberation. So I get it. People need to die, including important characters like Taka and a few others. But at the same time, it's a video game, and it'd be nice if there was some options here and there. So that leads me to the end of Act 2. This is one I really wish we had the ability to have some change and maybe some different story arcs play out for Act 3, is the Battle of Castle Shimmer itself. Because at that point, Shimmer knows that Jin has been, bending the rules a little.
Right. But especially after that cutscene where he's throwing the Mongol's head and then they open the door. It's like, run, you cowards.
Yeah. But at the same time, he's still ready to embrace Jin as his actual son and become a Shimura, right? So, the fighting's going well. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jin decides to pull out his poison dart in a cutscene. And poison, it's that scene you were talking about. He pulls out the poison dart, poisons a Mongol, right?
Right.
And jumps down. And up until that point, I got to be honest, in my first playthrough, I don't think I ever actually used the poison darts, except for that tutorial.
Really?
No.
I use it all the time.
Well, Well, that's just the funny thing. Like they're like my friend Ashlyn. Like when she played through it, she played through basically as a samurai. And like every now and then she would do like ghost stuff, but there's plenty of people out there that just played through as a samurai and not as a ghost. I mean, I did a little 50-50, I would say.
Not me. I literally went and did everything like without doing like any samurai stuff. Like, okay, I ran out of bows and arrows, and I ran out of arrows. Okay, I'm gonna use my dart gun. Then after that, I would use like my black smoke, or my cluster smoke, or my kunais, like anything but not use the sword.
Well, I love using the sword though. I absolutely love using the katana. But yeah, I think my go-to secondary weapon was the kunai. Anytime I'm in, like, if you watch the B-roll or my playthrough, anytime you see me in a little sticky situation when I'm fighting a whole bunch of Mongols, of course I'm going to go to the kunais. I'm going to use those to stun or kill as many as I can. It's war. It's not pistols as Dawn and Starbucks said in Battlestar Galactica, right? But anyways, so the Castle Shimura battle, the one thing I really don't care for is the fact that Jin ends up using the Wolfsbane to poison them all. The truth is you probably could have killed all the Mongols. You could have snuck in with your blades or with your kunais or your bow and arrow, and you could have gone in and just murdered them that way without having to use the Wolfsbane.
Yeah, Lord Shimura would have still been pissed because, it's thief-style kill.
Yeah, because it was dishonorable the way Jin would have done it. But what I would have liked is the option to either, at that moment, like, you decide you're either going to go with Shimura and carry out his attack, or you're going to go with Yuna.
So, like, the ending of Act 3.
No, the ending of Act 2.
No, I know, but it would be like that. Like, you get to choose.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll get to Act 3 in a moment, because I think that's an interesting discussion, too. And some people debate Act 3's final choice. But at the same time, like, I really wish you had that ability. I know it would lead to, like, maybe there'd be similarities between the way it would ultimately play out, but it'd be kind of cool to have that ability in that moment to decide, okay, are you going to go with Lord Shimura's plan? You have to decide now. Are you going to be that samurai that Lord Shimura wants you to be, or are you going to fully embrace the ghost?
Yeah, it would give you like a choice.
I mean, either way, it ultimately leads to the defeat of the Khan. But it just ends up with two different story arcs. Mm-hmm. And maybe by siding with Shimura, in the end, he dies fighting the Khan. Like, he ends up, you run in, you attack, because Shimura wanted to be the one who killed Kulton Khan, remember?
Right.
And so maybe they get into a fight, and then Kulton Khan, like, one of his men, like, pulls some sort of BS move, like hitting him with a bow and arrow from behind or some bullshit, allowing Kulton Khan enough time to mortally wound him. And then Jin gets in there just in time to finish off Kulton Khan, and then they have that final father-son embrace. See, that would have been kind of cool. But, yeah, that would have been nice, because I never really cared for that whole Wolfsbane thing. I thought it was dumb. Plus, sadly, you get arrested, and then your first samurai horse dies.
Yeah.
That was tragic. I don't know. You think it's more tragic than Arthur losing his horse.
It depends.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I felt more attached to that version of Galaxy Traveler, because I call my horses Galaxy Traveler in video games, unless they're already named, like the horses in Ghost of Tsushima. But I felt really like sad about when that horse died near the end of Chapter 6, because I had that horse for quite a while. But yeah, it still was a bummer moment, but you kind of saw it happening with all the arrows that horse took. Like, yeah, this horse is not going to make it.
It only took, I think, like, what, 3? It took like one to the butt, two to the butt cheek, and I think like one right here on the neck.
Yeah, it took a few, so it sucks. But at the same time, that leads us to, I guess, the ending, the final battle between Shimura and Jin. What are your thoughts about it?
I don't know. In a way, it felt right, because I don't think Lord Shimura would have ever been able to forgive Jin after all what he did. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it was quote-unquote necessary, depending on who you are. Yeah. For him to do all those things, because if not, everybody was going to die. Yeah. But, the only thing I did not expect was like, oh, the Shogun ordered it. Yeah. I did not expect that. Yeah. And then the whole fight, it did felt like it. I thought it was going to, when I first did it, I thought it was going to be for a whole different reason. It's like, oh, it's not part of the samurai way, you know what I have to do. Yeah. And then they would just kill each other.
Well, I think it's a little bit of both. One thing I think, Lord Shimura probably knew he was going to have no choice ultimately, but in the end, like the Shogun left, like any choice that Lord Shimmer would have had out the window. Like, he had no freaking choice. But yeah, I mean, even though I would have liked there to have been different arcs and options, simpler to like Telltale Games or Detroit Become Human.
Right.
But there would be an overall arc that would remain the same for the most part. But at the same time, I do understand why, things play out the way they're meant to in a story like Ghost of Tsushima. But at the end, you do get a choice. You either can spare the uncle or you kill him. Which choice do you think is the best choice or the most canonical?
Kill him.
Kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree entirely. I mean, for one thing, I'm kind of sort of a history nerd or buff or whatever you want to call me. But at the same time, I understand Japanese history as well as that of the samurai, the honor code, the warrior code. And that's something they talk about throughout the entire game.
Right. In
the flashbacks of Lord Shimura and Jin, even Jin talks about it, and it's mentioned a few times how the samurai have this code. And that's the code that Lord Shimura lives by, and it's the code he's willing to die by. And despite the fact that even in like the haiku at the end is very touching because it basically gives you the idea, like these two men who clearly love each other as father and son, fate has put them on opposing sides.
Right.
And they have, like Jin doesn't want to fight him, obviously, but Lord Shimura has no choice. But in the end, Jin is going to win because he's younger, and despite how talented and how skilled Lord Shimura is, Lord Shimura is past his prime.
Right.
But
that I have more abilities.
Yeah, but I think the canonical end is killing Lord Shimura. A lot of people actually struggled with it. I found that amazing because whenever I went through it, like I knew I was going to kill him. I knew I had to kill him because that's the samurai way. Even though they were on the opposite sides, in the end, you had to grant Lord Shimura an honorable death because that's what he deserved. He deserved a warrior's death. It was part of his code. It would have been dishonorable for Jin to do otherwise. And even though Jin was no longer considering himself to be a samurai, because as you like to say,
oh yeah, honor died at the beach. Yeah, the Khan deserved to suffer.
She likes to say that all the time. But yeah, even though Jin doesn't consider himself to be a samurai anymore by that point, he still loves his uncle and respects his uncle, right?
Right.
To understand that this is what his uncle wants. In the end, he's defeated and he's wounded. I mean, maybe he could recover from those wounds. Maybe. Probably not.
Right.
But at the same time, an honorable death is what his uncle deserves.
Honestly, I killed him for no reason. I just killed him because he killed my horse.
He didn't kill your horse. It was the samurai soldiers and archers
I know,
that killed
but
him.
those were his men, so how dare he?
I mean, weren't they? I mean, a lot of those men were actually the shogun's men, though.
Yeah, but they were helping Lord Shimura. So
liberating the island of Tsushima from the Mongols.
Look, they killed my horse. Lord Shimura was the man I had to kill. That's all that matters.
Wow.
And plus, that white ghost armor is looking sick as hell.
Yeah, that's another thing I like. I really wish at the end of Shack, you could actually fix up the shack a little bit because it needs some work.
It could, yeah. It needs some handiwork.
Yeah, it's like my uncle. He's doing work on the house right now, and I wish I could just hire my uncle to come over to Tsushima with me and do some work on that shack. Put a new roof on it.
Yeah. But hey, at least he has a free shower. He has the
hot tub, yeah.
The hot tub on the back.
I mean, it's a little shack, but I wish you could actually fix it up because it does rain a lot in the game.
Right.
Hey, good thing you have your flute handy, right?
Right.
But still, I mean, I've absolutely loved playing Ghost of Tsushima. 1 year later, still playing it. I don't know. I'm gonna try and get my New Game Plus finished before August 20th, so that I can just play through that character when I go to Icky Island, or else I'll just use my non-New Game Plus character.
Right.
I haven't really decided yet. But it's interesting, though, the way they say Icky Island's going to be, where like it'll become available, like, what, in Act 2?
Yeah, like Act 2, yeah.
I really wish they would just have gone balls to the walls and say, no, you have to beat Ghost of Tsushima. This does not unlock for you until you beat the main game. But it's like a lot of these DLCs, like Mafia 3 was like this. All 3 of the Mafia 3 DLCs like unlock after your sit down. So I wish that, I don't know why game developers do that.
Because some people just want to maybe corrupted save files. Like, I really have to play through this again. It's like, no, I don't want to play that. I just want to play the DLC. Because that's something that happened here. I couldn't transfer my PS4 data.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
Now I have to start from Act 1 again, and I have to get to Act 2, so I actually played the DLC, even though I already platinumed the game.
Yeah. Okay, I get that exception. And okay, I can see why developers would do that. They would allow you like to get to a certain point, but all too often, I really what I want is just some additional story post the main story. And with Iki Island, I feel like we're not really going to get that. I think we're going to learn more about Jin, and we're going to get some more information about him. But at the same time, I really don't know how that's going. Is there going to be any difference between like going into it like before you beat the game or after beating the game? What I
feel like it's just going to be some side story.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's going to be a bigger side story, or what they could do is like you could play it after Act 2.
Yeah.
But like at the beginning of the act of the side story, it will say this takes place after Act 3, after you kill, or they explain which one is the canonical ending.
Yeah.
So and then bam, it starts, and it's basically Ghost of Tsushima 1.5.
Yeah, I wish they would do that because
they could do that.
Yeah, because Miles Morales takes place after this first Spider-Man game, right?
Right, I think so. I don't play new Spider-Man, I can say.
Yeah, I think it does. I could be wrong about that. Because it has to, because that's when Miles Morales, first meets Peter and finds out near the end of the game. Spoilers again. Sorry, not sorry. I haven't played through it, by the way, but I did watch others play through it. So it has to be, after the first game.
Because I wish they would do that, because if they do it, like, in between, then you would know that Jin's not going to die. Yeah. And then you know that everything's going to be fine, because Jin has to come back into Act 3.
Yeah, and furthermore, it also doesn't really put any of the established characters in harm's way. I mean, they may introduce some new characters for Iki Island, or some of the characters go with you, like Yuna, and the ones that aren't going to be killed. Especially, you can't take Taco with you.
No.
How are you going to take Taco with you if he's already dead? So it would have to be characters that survive the main story.
Yeah, that's in if you beat the game.
Yeah, you would take the Sensei with you. Maybe he ends up on Iki Island. He needs to go on a vacation. He's an asshole, but I like him. maybe Lady Masako and her girlfriend goes too.
Her girlfriend?
Remember that the maid that stole from him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I always envision that she and her end up together, and some sort of happiness, ends up in Lady Masako's life after everything that happened to her. At least I would like to believe that was the case. But I do have a little treat for y'all. Somebody left this in the comment section of my director's cut video. I don't know if it's legit, but I thought that I would just read over it in this video at the end. Now, supposedly this is somebody that was a game tester, right? And they left a comment section in the video. And I'm going to go ahead and read over what this guy said. Remember, this could be legit regarding Iki Island. This could be complete bullshit. I'll let you tell me what you think it is. Quality assurance tester, partially disabled. And by the way, I'm sorry that you are disabled, sir. I mean, it's unfortunate to have any sort of mental or physical disabilities. Let's see, he has done testing for Fight Night Round 4. First experience as a beta tester. Worked on many prestigious companies in the past. EA, Naughty Dog, Sucker Punch. Despite not being a beta tester for Ghost of Tsushima, I am familiar with the game and spending countless hours in its immersive world. I did, however, beta test Iki Island, and I'd like to share with you some of the details I enjoyed. By the way, I think I still left it in the comment section of that video, so you can go read it yourself. Beautiful island Iki, located off the coast of Tsushima. In terms of size, it's about the same as Tsushima's bottom portion of the island. And that's what I theorized, is that was roughly going to be about the same size as, one of the act maps, not the entire island of Tsushima, because Iki Island is way smaller than Tsushima.
Right. And it could be like the Act 1 map. Yeah. That big.
Yeah, basically.
Still pretty big, though.
Yeah, it's a decent size for an expansion. It adds new wildlife, such as leopards, squirrels. Good. Can I kill the squirrels, please?
You do have a bow and arrow.
Yay! I want to chase him down with my samurai sword and hit him with the kunais. There's also monkeys going to be on the island. I think we saw that in the trailer, though, where Jin was actually petting a monkey. So we know that there's going to be monkeys. Let's see, thanks to this colorful landscape, the island also will be home to a volcano. Is it the same volcano that destroys Lost Jurassic World?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay.
You're going to see a bunch of people. What happens if you jump into volcano?
I don't think you're gonna be able to climb to. If you can, that'd be funny. All right. So the expansion adds roughly 15 to 20 hours of gameplay. If that is true, then that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet for an expansion. In general, I stuck mainly to the main quest line. So that's 15, 20 hours of gameplay, and he stuck to the main quest and didn't really do much side questing. Oh, I'm doing side questing. Hell yeah, I am. Mm-hmm. It was the well thought out plot that kept me attentive to the next turn of events. Story-wise, I gave And I see a 4.7 out of 5. If that's true,
That's very good.
that's better than I was expecting, and this is coming from Sucker Punch. It was interesting and in many ways better than the main story. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah,
We'll be the judge of that.
this is when I first started like looking at it. I'm like, what? How can it be better? But I'm not saying it's bad, but the main story was really, really good. But we'll see.
Yeah, the bar is set pretty high.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it being almost as good, but I can't imagine it being better. But everyone has...
We'll see.
Yeah, everyone has a different opinion. Here's an overview of what I recall being added to the game throughout the expansion. Bear in mind, once again, this was sent to me anonymously by somebody, so it could be legit. It could be somebody's imagination at work. And look, I applaud the effort, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they watched the trailer and they just brainstormed these crazy ideas. But maybe they're true. Maybe it's legit. Let me know in the comments section. New heavy armor sets. Not really my style, but I had to test everything for bugs, so we are getting new armor sets. New medium-grade armor has both bow and melee perks. You might like that if it's true.
Heck yeah.
Unlike anything else in the game, this armor looked totally different, so interesting. There's also going to be a new light-grade armor. Hooded outfit reminded me of old ninja shows that your father used to watch when you were a child. Kind of gives me an Assassin's Creed vibe. Stealth bow damage also provided with the armor.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, nice. The outfit also gave Jin 25% faster attack speed when he used the sword and bow with it. I'm liking it already. There's also new torches in the game, part of the storyline. You'll need to use this for cave mission. There's going to be a cave mission on Icky Island, allegedly.
Would you look at that? At least a game added a torch.
I know, right? That pissed me off when I saw the trailer for Blood Money, Reddit Online's latest update, which I did do a review on, by the way. I posted it, yesterday. Right. So, yeah, that pissed me off because in the trailer, characters that look like players, they have torches. Yeah, where are the torches, Rockstar? Back on topic, by the way. So, yeah, you'll have torches. You'll have a cave mission, allegedly, for Icky Island. There are 3 new horse armors that can be colored. So, I'm guessing it's not just the horse armor we saw in the trailer, but 2 other variations and different colors of each one. So, that's
Still, the
good.
horse armor in the trailer looks amazing.
It does look badass.
It does.
Yeah. There are now dozens of new charms. Then there's some fun ones that affect how Jin looks. Transform yourself into Lord Shimura, a young Jin, and Ryozo.
It's going to be funny. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the young Jin and then kill Lord Shimura at the end.
Do you remember those screenshots I took whenever I was doing the flashback?
Oh, yeah. You could be Ghost and
Yeah.
Jin.
I don't think they did it intentionally, but if you're New Game Plusing Ghost of Tsushima and you do the flashback where you and Shimura are on the trail for the bear, I actually went into Ghost Dance and I did some screenshots of it. And I'm little ghost in action. You have Shimura just looking at him in disapproval. It's so funny.
Right. Or you could just have Lord Shimura versus Lord Shimura.
That'd be. I hope he gets to wear sweet armor with his horns that I like. I know you don't like those horns.
No, I don't.
They're badass.
No, they're not.
That's my favorite armor for Legends. I love wearing that armor.
Why?
With the wolf mask. It's awesome. You're missing out.
I'm
okay.
glad to be missing out.
Anyways, new shrines. Rainbows added. Ooh, rainbows.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, there's new Mongol-type enemies. So a lot of people were mentioning how they wanted more archer Mongols. Because that's what they were known for historically. Is they would ride in battle mostly a cavalry archery charge. So there are Mongols actually riding around on horseback in Tsushima, but I guess players want more of that because that's what the Mongols were known for,
Okay. Well, as long as they don't have any Tengu type characters.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a rapid machine gun arrow.
I think they'll keep the Tengu in Legends. I don't see the Tengu ever making their way over to the main story of Tsushima. Or maybe Jin gets drugged and he has to fight off the Tengu.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that. We'll just have to wait and see. I freaking hate the Tengu as well. There's new upgrades for swords and bows. Hey, I like that. I got to finish upgrading my New Game Plus stuff. Damage speed upgrades for swords and range weapons. Bows affected by these upgrades. Zoom feature for the short bow is now available after upgrading. So, you know this.
Yeah, the half bow.
Yeah. So the longbow has it, but the short bow doesn't. So I guess this upgrade will allow the short bow to have it as well.
Right. Yeah, that's why I prefer to use longbow for everything. Not only use the zoom, but the damage is better.
Yeah, true. I like them both. I really do. All right, so that's pretty much everything that the anonymous source sent me regarding Icky Island. I thought I'd just tack it in at the end of this video just as a bonus, just for fun. I debated whether or not to make it its own separate video, but at the same time, there's always that reason of doubt, and I don't really like spreading things unless I have almost legit information to go by. So that's why I decided just to throw it in at the end of this video. The 1 year anniversary of Ghost of Tsushima, officially 1 year old. And any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I can't wait for the Island expansion so then I can actually live stream it. Yeah, because I think I'm gonna do that. Like on like the main story, and I think I'm actually gonna live stream this one.
Yeah.
And let's see how it goes. Can't wait for it.
So I guess we'll be taking turns. Like, I guess during the daytime I'll stream Icky Island, and then at night you'll stream it. It'll be a race. It'll be a race to see
who can finish it first,
or who does a better job. She probably will.
Don't worry. I'm just gonna. What you're gonna do is probably stream like 2 hours. So I'll just stream it until I finish the game. So I'll do like a 20-hour stream if you don't mind.
No, that's not happening. But I'll probably go for like maybe like 3-4 hours. I usually have like the average like a 3 or 4 hour stream these days. I'm not gonna go crazy like I did with Red Dead Redemption 2 when I did like
10 hours.
Yeah,
10 hours. How could you do it?
I was just so excited to play Red Dead Redemption 2 on the first playthrough, but I think I've moved kind of past that. I don't know if I could do that anymore, unless it's just a game I'm really, really excited about. But
depends.
There isn't really a game coming out this year. I mean, like Diablo 2 Resurrected. Okay.
No, it's a remaster now.
Yeah, it's a remaster, but I love Diablo 2. But I'm not gonna throw 10 hours stream into that. Maybe a 3 hour stream. But at the same time, if there's ever a future game, never say never, as the old saying goes. But at the same time, yeah, absolutely love Ghost of Tsushima. I do believe that this game deserved to be Game of the Year. Now, I know people enjoyed that other game. That's fine. We all like different games, teach their own. That's what I love about video games. It brings people together from all walks of life. But in my opinion, I felt like Ghost of Tsushima was the better game. And unfortunately, it did not win. But those are only trophies, and what matters to me personally is that Ghost of Tsushima was 2020 Game of the Year, in my opinion, and one of the few good things about that year. Just one of them.
Yeah, that year was mostly pretty crap.
Yeah, easily in the top 3 of the worst years in my lifetime, and probably most of your lifetimes as well. But anyways, that's just our thoughts, our views, our opinions, looking back at the past year of Ghost of Tsushima, as well as looking forward to Icky Island, which will both be streaming on our channels. Coming up sometime in August 20th, I suppose. But check out Riley's channel. Check out my channel. And your thoughts, your views, and opinions regarding the 1 year anniversary of Ghost of Tsushima, as well as your thoughts and your hopes and your dreams regarding the Icky Island expansion, as well as the future of the Ghost of Tsushima franchise. As always, welcome below in the comments section.